Nice work.
Okay, Monica. Hey, Monica has donated one set of beads to get back up here with 3 people left on the stand. Start me off $100. Who's going to show me $100? $100. Anybody's in at 100? Can I get $100? Anybody? 100. Can I get 150?
Oh yeah, that's bonus.
Still go 1.5. Can I get 150? Bidders in 150. 150. There it is. $100.
$100. Look at that.
Bid number. Oh my. 344.
344. Oh, let's see.
Tails.
Wow.
Tails.
Oh.
This might be the best $100 spent all night. This is looking good.
It's heads.
Oh no. Could you imagine giving up one of your beads for $100?
That's gonna be
awkward. For the kids.
You're not gonna auction one more set off? You're good? All right.
No. This is
They're gonna flip it. Heads or tails?
Flip it. Smart.
Tails.
No.
All right, choose. Hey, you guys, rock, paper, scissors on who's going to choose
First.
So rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Who picks first? They can. Yeah, go back to back. Yeah, back to back. Yeah. Yeah, just look me in the eyes. Don't do that. Scared.
It's got that Judge Judy feel. A little more beard.
Close your eyes.
Everybody.
All right, we got it.
Oh my gosh.
Heads.
Give it up. Thank you so much.
You should give her your quarter at least.
It's back. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a fun way to start. Now, who's ready to start bidding on some items?
There we go. Okay. Hey, guys, our first item up tonight is going to be the silent disco party. This takes some understanding. So we have an entire set of headphones and a DJ and equipment that will come for up to 100 people. At the disco party, you put on your headphones, and you will be listening to any one of 3 different streams of music, all coordinated to the same beat, but you might not be dancing to the same jam that your buddy next to you is dancing to. So glow sticks, party music, all kinds of things abound, and to everybody who doesn't have headphones, pure and utter silence. You can do this with neighbors, you can do it in town, you can do it despite noise ordinances, and no one will call the COVID cops on you because they will never know. So this is the silent disco. It's equipment that we have here from the region. We use it for all kinds of different things, but we will bring it to your house and you can see what skills your friends have. Who's going to start me off? $500 on silent disco. Can I get 500? Any bidders in 500? $500. Anybody in 500? Got a summer party coming up? Want to put it to your club? $500. $500. Show me 250. At 250. Anybody in 250? At 2.5 and a half and 2.5 and 250. At 2.5 and 2.5 and 250. I got one. Can I get 300? 300. Anybody 300? I got 250. Looking for three. $300. Anybody into 300? 300. How about 275? At 275. 75. 75. 275. Once. Twice, sold out, $250 to bid number 328. Thank you very much. Our second item this evening is Seattle Kraken tickets. So this is 4 tickets to the Kraken, Section 9, number 11, or level 100? Section 9, 100 level, row R, at the Kraken. Who's going to start me off here? $500 for 4 tickets to see the Kraken. 500? Anybody to 500? Sir? December 30th is the game. Do you know who they're playing against here, Jeff?
Yes, it's Calgary Flames.
The Flames. There we go. A true, honest, original Canadian team. The Flames. Who's going to show me $500 for 4 tickets to the Kraken? 500? $500. Anybody in 500? $500. Any bidders in 500? $500. 300. How about 3? Can I get 300? $300. Any bidders to 300? $300 to go to a game in Seattle. Watch the Kraken play. $300 at 2.5 at 250. Bidders in 250. There we go, 2.5. Can I get 300? $300. Any bidders? 300. Can I get 350? 350. Can I get 400? $400 looking for 400. $400 looking for 400. I got 3.5 and I'm looking for 400. 400. Once, twice, sold out. 350. Bid number 319, I believe. Our next trip is the Nez Perce Snake River Jet Boat Tour. So this is part of the Nez Perce tourism to hear the echoes of our ancestors on a jet boat tour for 2 through Hell's Canyon. There is a dance team that comes along. This is an interpretive tour that goes through and talks about the history of the Nez Perce tribe and how it is impacted along the river. This is a jet boat trip for 2. Who's going to start me off for value $300? Can I get 300? $300. Any bidders to 300? $300. Anybody in 300? $300. 200. Can I get 2? $200. Anybody at 200? $200 looking for 2. Looking for 2. 200. Can I get 250? Looking for 250 at 2.5. At 2.5 and a half and a 2.5. Looking for $250. Any bidders to 250? 250. I got 200 and I'm looking for 250. Once. Twice, sold out, $200. Bid number, ma'am? Can I get your bid number, please? 376. Thank you so much. $200. So our next item up, item number 4, is a Montana wood sculpture. If you guys haven't had a chance, this was over on the fine arts section. It is a beautiful, beautiful piece of maple that is gem sculptured. It's about 12 inch by 16 and includes all kinds of mineral, gem, and gold insets. It's got 5 sapphires, 1 garnet, 1 copper nugget, 1 diamond, a 24-karat gold piece, and 2 agates inset into the outlay of Montana, and then blue epoxied ribbons of river throughout the rest of the state. This thing is spectacular. Thank you for bringing this over. Walk this one through the auction hall so everybody can see it. This is an exceptional piece. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. Gary, you're about to get bundled up into a package here. Valued at $2,000. Who's going to start me on $2,000? $2,000. Any bidders into $2,000? $2,000 bidders in $2,000. $2,000. Anybody into $1,500? Can I get $1,500? $1,500? $1,500 in for the Montana and gem inset. $1,500? $1,500? $1,250? $12.50. Can I get $12.50 on the Montana gem set? Do we have a reserve on this one? $12.50. I'm looking for $12.50. $1,000. Who'll start me on $1,000 for an inset of the Montana state outline? $1,000. Okay, we'll do no bid on that. We're going to move on to item number 5. So this is a stay at the Chillin Shores.
Chelan.
Chelan's Shores.
We're from Montana.
Drag a
too.
boy out of Montana. I can tell you what kind of cow you're eating. But I can't point at places in Canada. One more time?
Chelan.
Like he said. The Chelan Shores stay from September 30th through October 7th. This is a beautiful 2-bedroom, 2-bath, ground floor, full kitchen, and all linens. The patio with barbecue, gas barbecue. It's got a view of the lake, heated pool, and hot tub with exercise room. It sleeps 6, no pets, no smoking, with 2 flat screen TVs and Wi-Fi. So this is a week at the Chelan Shores.
Yep,
Nailed it.
You're right.
All right,
close.
1 week here. Start me off at value, $2,300. Who's going to show me $2,300? $2,300. Can I get a bidder's at $2,300? $2,300. Anybody in 23? $2,300. How about 18? $1,800. $1,800 for a week away. $1,800. $1,800. Sleep 6. A stay in Chelan Shores. $1,800. $1,800. Bidders into 18. 18. 13. $1,300 or $1,000 off. $1,300. Who's going to show me? 13. $1,300. Any bidders to 1,300. $1,300. Any bidders to 13. 13. 1,000.
Oh.
We got an online bid.
We got an online bid for, well, low.
Okay. We'll work our way. So we're looking for 500. Bidders into 500. Anybody going to show me 500? It's a $2,300 stay. $500. Bidders into 500. Anybody in 500? I've got one bid at 2. There we got 500. 500. Can I get 750? 750. Can I get 1,000? I'm looking for $1,000. I got 750. I'm looking for 1,000. 1,000. Anybody into 1,000? I've got 750. I'm looking for 1,000.
What's the bidder number over here for 750?
376. 346. At 750, I'm looking for 1,000. $1,000. 1,000. $1,000. Anybody to 1,000?
Oh, now we're 800.
I got an $800 offer online. Can I get 9? 900. I got 900. I'm looking for 1,000.
Oh, outbid for 950.
950. Will you go 1,000? I got 950 online. You do 1,000. 1,000. We've got 1,000. I've got 1,000. I'm looking for 1,100. 1,100. Looking for 1,100. I got 1,000. I'm looking for 1,100. 1,100.
Oh, we got 1150 or 1050.
No, I want 1,100.
I can't.
I know, but you can tell him. I got 1,000, and I'm looking for 1,100. So, Mr. Schaefer, I'm looking for 1,100. There we go. Come on, give me 1,100. Looking for 1,100. I got 1,000. I'm looking for 1,100. Can you chat with him?
Maybe.
Okay.
Hey, Jeff, I can manage the bids and stuff. I'm up here.
Getting one clarification. I've got 1,000. Looking for 1,100. What's that? Nah.
He's watching.
He's watching live. Unless he can't bid himself up.
He can't. I don't think the system will do that. So we're also doing a live portion, web streaming this. So that's the bidding, which is fun. But we've also never done this before, so it's kind of an experiment too.
And that is an interesting little conundrum. So at $1,000, if we don't get a new bidder in at 1,100.
Well, he's in for 1050.
I know, but that's not an increment I've advertised.
Well, but now we're.
Please forgive me.
It is.
I understand that. Sometimes there's laws involved in this game.
True.
True. So I've got 1,000. I'm looking for 1,100, and I'll close it out if we've got one at 1,100. I'm going once, twice, sold out, $1,000, 346. And if you guys are following along live on the live stream, I do appreciate that. Please listen to the increment bids that are offered. Please pick those bids as they're offered at increment in the live auction. We will go slow enough that you can follow along, so we appreciate everybody that's at home that is part of our live streaming audience, but we do have to bid in increments. There are laws that we have to follow. So our next item, item number 6, is the Scotland Distillery trip. This is part of a new initiative that's coming out of our region. This has been something that the regional board has worked with for a long time, has been talking about, and has been exploring. There are a series of trips that we are starting to be doing as a group. So myself, Jeff, Keith, and the regional board have spent a lot of time talking about this. This is one of several trips that are going to look like this. These are ministry trips. These are our opportunity as a region to give back to you as donors. If you buy an opportunity to come on one of these trips are not designed to be asks. They are going to be, we are going to have spiritual development at the heart and core of what we are doing. We're going to be asking questions. We're going to be going deeper. We are going to be spending time in faith and in conversation in depth with you in the background of some of the most beautiful places on the planet. This first one is a distillery tour in Scotland. So you'll enjoy a guided trip with a small group of Young Life folks, including myself and Mr. Huber, as well as a Scotch scholar, a friend of mine, Brendan Fairley. You'll stay 4 days and 3 nights at the end of June on this expert guided trip to the Inverness of Scotland to explore distilleries in the Isla and Speyside regions. You'll enjoy nightly Young Lifestyle cabin times with Jeff, Carl, myself, Brendan, after days of guided tours on prime destinations for distilleries such as Macallan, Glenfiddich, Laphroaig, Lagavulin, and we'll visit Loch Ness, see scenes from Harry Potter's Hogwarts Express, as well as the Glenfinnian Viaduct, and we'll try fly fishing on the River Spey, where it was originally designed and cast. This is a beautiful opportunity to come together and support Young Life. The value on these trips is $6,000. I do have a reserve minimum that I have to meet, and we are willing to sell more than one trip. So who's going to show me $4,000 to get me started? $4,000 to spend time over in Scotland with Jeff, Brendan, and myself. Can I get 4,000? Bidders into 4,000. Anybody into 4,000? Can I get 4,000? Anybody out? Can I get 4,000? $4,000 for a trip to Scotland? You'll meet us over in Scotland. We'll spend the 4 days and 3 nights together. Can I get $4,000 bid on this trip? 4,000? 4,000? 3,500? Can I get bidders in at 3,500? $3,500? Anybody into 3,500? 30. There we go. We got one bid at 3,500. Can I get 4,000? 4,000? 4,000. I'm at 3,500 looking for 4,000. I have one bidder in looking for 4,000. Bidders to 4,000. Anybody online? Okay. Once? Twice? What's the question? We'll do you both, each of you for 3,500 will go. Okay? And then any other trips that people would want to book for that trip later will go up to the full cost at 6,000. So 2 trips at 3,500, once, twice, sold out, bid 346. I might need a helper for this one. So this next one is our Young Life t-shirt quilt. So this is all of the different areas have contributed from all over the region. These are t-shirts that go back for many, many years. This quilt has, I don't even know how big the patchwork is. Can I get a hand over here? Thanks, Tanya. Okay, so all of the different areas in our new region have contributed together to make quilt work for this patchwork for this quilt. It's a beautiful, beautiful reflection of who we are as a new community. We're going to start this one off at $800. Who's going to show me $800 for the patchwork quilt? $800? $800, any bidders into $800? $800, anybody in $800? $800, anybody in $800? How about $500? Bidders to $500? $500. Can I get $500, anybody in $500? $500, anybody in $500? $500. How about $300, anybody into $300? $300. Bidders in $300. We got one, $300. Can I get five? Can I get $400? $400, anybody in $400? I got $300 looking for $400. $400, anybody in at $400? $400. I've got in the auction hall, I've got a $300 bid. I am looking for a $400 bid. Once, twice, sold out to bid number 306. Thank you very much.
Have fun pronouncing this one.
Yeah, right. This is great. Okay, so this is going to be the crowd participation version of the literacy test tonight. Lake Osoyoos. We don't have one of those. We don't have lakes in Montana. Who am I kidding? Lake Osoyoos and Veranda Beach Resort stay 2 nights and 3 days at the lake house at Veranda Beach Resort, donated by Janine Isaac. So, okay.
This is just across the border into Canada.
Oroville.
Just north of Orville. Know where that's at. So kind of central Washington. Go up from there. It's a beautiful spot right on the lake.
All right, start me off $500. Anybody in $500? $500 here, 2 nights.
There
We go. 5. Can I get $550? Look at 5.5 and a half and 5.5. I'm looking for $550 at 5.5. Bidders in 5.5 at 5.5 and a half and 5.5. $550. $550. I got $500. Looking for $550. $550. I've already got $500 in the auction hall. I'm looking for $550 live stream or in the audience. $550 at 5.5. $550. Can I get $600? $600. Any bidders? 6. Can I get 6.5? I'm looking for 6.5. I got $600. I'm looking for 6.5. At 6.5 and a half and a half and 6.5. 6.5. Can I get $700? Can I get $700? 7. Can I get $750? Looking for $750. $750. I'm at $700. Looking for $750. $750. I got. I'm looking for 8. 8. Can I get 8.5? Looking for $850. I got $800 and for 8.5. At 8.5, yep, got $850. Looking for 9. 9, can I get $950? I got $900. Can I get $950? $950. Looking for bidders at $950. $950. Can I get $1,000? Can I get $1,000? $1,000. Can I get $1,050? $1,050. Looking for $1,050. $1,050. Got $1,050. Looking for $1,100. $1,100. Can I get $1,150? $1,150. $1,150. Got $1,150. Looking for $12. 12, can I get 12 and a half? At 12 and a half, 12 and a half and a half and a half and a half, and 12 and a half. At 12.50, 12.50, 12.50, can I get 13? 13, can I get 13.50? At 13.50, can I get 13 and a half? 13 and a half, can I get 14? $1,400 looking for 14. 14, can I get 14 and a half? Can I get 14.50? I got 14, looking for 14.50. There we got 14.50, looking for 15. $1,500, bidders 15. There we go, 1,500, looking for 15 and a half. At 15.50, at 15 and a half and a half, and at 15 and a half, there we got it. 16, 16, looking for new bidders at 16. I got 15 and a half, and I'm looking for 1,600. Once, twice, sold out, bidder online, $1,550. Item number 9 is the Angry Blueberry Catered Dinner with the Hubers or McDonald's. Legit farm-to-table catered dinner with Angry Blueberry Catering. Jessica and Brian Yeager, appetizers, wine, and incredible dinner for the ages and dessert, for all ages and dessert. If you choose, you could invite Jeff and Tanya Huber or Kent and possibly Linda McDonald. as your guest to spice up conversations. Jeff, they asked, do they have to invite you? Oh, you can have a party without Jeff. I've never had a party without Jeff. Parties go better with Jeff Huber. Who's going to start me off here? $500. Gonna get $500? $500. Anybody into $500? $500 looking for bidders in $500. $500? $500? $500? There, I got 5. Looking for 5.5. 5.5. I got 500 looking for 550. 550. Looking for 5.5 and a half and a half, 5.5. 550. Looking for bidders at 550. I got 500 looking for 550. Maybe.
What was that bid number over there,
Bid
Jeff?
number up really quick? Yes. Not yet. We're at $500 and we're looking for 5.5. Can I get 550? 550? Anybody into 550? 550? Once? Twice? Sold out. $500. Bid 369. Keith, why don't you describe this next one? These are waterfowl upland hunting trips in Montana.
Yes, this next one is you get to come with me, and what we'll do is we'll take you out hunting for 3 days. We can hunt waterfowl and upland game, sometimes on the same day. We'll stay at a beautiful lodge, includes all your meals and ammo, most likely. We have a good stockpile going right now, which ammo is hard to get. So like that alone is worth like $1,000 in this deal, especially steel shot. It's a wonderful trip. We just took a group out there. Yes, question. This will be in Montana, outside Billings, Montana. Maybe Cody as well. There's another spot down there we could go to, so it could be Wyoming. Somewhere around Billings and Cody, Wyoming is where we're looking at. And it's a wonderful trip. We took a group out there. We took 11 people out there about a month ago and had a great time. So you can bid on this or bring your friends. This is another one of those experienced trips, but we thought we'd throw this into our little thing tonight to advertise it.
So just like the ministry trip to Scotland, this is again an opportunity for us to get back to you, to lean in. You can take vacation time, but it's also going to be spiritual development. We're going to start this one off at $1,800 for a waterfowl and upland hunting trip. Who's going to show me 18? $1,800, any bidders in? 1,800. $1,800 here. 4 nights in Montana for upland and waterfowl, $1,800. Who's going to show me 18? 1,800? 1,800. Can I get a bidder at 1,800? How about 15? 15? Yes?
This is just for one person, but we can do multiple of them.
You can fill the whole trip if you want to. $1,500. Anybody to 1,500? 15. Can I get $1,500? Anybody in 1,500? 1,500? 12. $1,200. Anybody into $1,200? Anybody start me at 1,200? 1,200? $1,200. Anybody into 1,200? 1,200? 1,000? Start me off on $1,000 here. We're 1/3 the cost, $1,000 for 4 days of guided upland and waterfowl hunting. These trips are, by the way, guided by professional guides. We're going to stay with them and work with them. So professional guides, not just 2 yokels up here shooting shotguns. So $1,000? $1,000? You can bring the yokels, though. $1,000? Online bids?
Oh, there we go.
$1,000. Looking for 1050. Can I get 1050? 1050. I got 1,000. I'm looking for 1050. 1050. Anybody can bid up at 1050? $1,050. Anybody in? New bidders in. Once. Twice. Sold out. $1,000. Your bid number, sir? Can I get your bid number? Thank you. 325.
All right, now we get the opportunity to hear from one of our associate regional directors, Tanita Maddox, who's going to share with you about the work we're doing across our region and specifically how we're working with Gen Z kids. So with that, let's bring up Tanita.
right, think back to when you were a teenager, huh? Maybe you were listening to Beatles, Beach Boys, Bono, Boys to Men, yeah, Bush. All these places. I have a picture of me when I was in high school. Here we go. This is 1996, on the way to the last football game of the season, the state football game championship. That's me in the middle, right? Voted most spirited, the senior class. So there we go. There you go. There's the proof. December of 1996 at the bottom. Remember when dates were on the bottom of your printed photos? There you go. That's a sign of my age also. Well, I realize that one of the common mistakes that we make is we think about when we were a teenager, when we were in high school or middle school and college, and we think, oh, it's the same for everyone that follows me. Everyone that's ever been an adolescent has the same experience, right? I've been there. I was 15 once. I've had that experience. And in some ways, those things are true. Like, there's things that will always be true about adolescence, like you're moving from childhood to adulthood. We've got growing and changing bodies. We learn all sorts of new hygiene, like, hey, you probably should wear, something for the smell. At some point, when adolescence is when we learn that. But I think this group, we feel that there's something very different about this group of adolescents that's in our midst now. There's something a little bit intangible that we know that there's this kind of mountain in between kids and adults. We feel like maybe we're speaking a different language. We feel like there's something that's in the way of them understanding what faith is or who Jesus is. And what's interesting is that, here's what the research says, right? 73% of adolescents want to turn to older generations for help, for advice. In tough times, this generation of adolescents wants to talk to adults. At the same time, 71% feel like they don't understand me. So we have this group of adolescents that desperately wants to go to older adults to talk to them about real things. And at the same time, they're caught with this, but what if they don't understand me? What if they don't get me? What if they don't see me? And so they're caught in this place of wanting to talk to adults and yet being afraid to at the same time. And one of the things I get to do is I get to stand in front of adolescents and I ask them, what are you hearing about yourself? When you hear the media, when you hear the news, you hear adults talk, what kind of things do you hear about yourself? And I'm sure you can probably guess, there might be some things running through your mind right now, but I get to sit in front of adolescents. I have high school students who will sit in front of me and say, I hear that they think that I'm lazy, that I'm entitled, that I'm weak, that I won't make it, that I'm fragile. And I always have to stop and go, man, what would it be like to want to go to someone for help? And yet you hear the message of what they think of you, or all these other words. But at the same time, they're desperate to be heard. And this summer, I got the chance to speak at Young Life Summer Camp, and I was walking with a sophomore student through the camp, and as she found out what I studied, she said, what do you do? I said, I study Generation Z. That's her generation. And she stopped and she said to me, thank you. Someone has to tell the grown-ups what's happening to us. Such a highly self-aware group of kids. Now, who is Generation Z? Who am I talking about? Who are these adolescents? Well, these are folks that are born between the mid to late 90s to 2013, 2015, somewhere around there. They are our middle school, high school, college students, and now our young professionals. They're the largest generation in the United States. They make about a quarter of our population, and they're also the most diverse. It's the first time in the history of the United States we've had a generation that is mostly non-white. They grow up in a post-Christian cultural worldview, which means they don't have cultural references to matters of faith. It's likely that they don't really know when Jesus walked the earth, and they just don't have a lot of ties to that. And they're also not just the Christian faith. They're most likely to have no religious affiliation in their home. And so what do? Is we start to take this position of, what did Jesus do? What did Jesus do when he interacted with people? So in Mark 5, we look, and we see that there's a synagogue ruler, Jairus, who has a very, very sick daughter. And while this crowd is around Jesus, he goes to find Jesus and says, please come with me. Please come lay your hands on my daughter. She's very sick. And so Jesus starts to go with him, and this huge crowd is with him because they want to see what's going to happen next. And we know that in that crowd was a woman who'd been suffering, hemorrhaging, bleeding for 12 years, had given all her money up to doctors, was in a worse place than where she started. And in her desperation in that crowd thought, if I can just touch his cloak, maybe I'll be healed. And so she does, and immediately she feels the bleeding stop in her body. And Jesus also feels what happens in that moment, and he turns around and says, who touched my clothes in this huge crowd? Who touched my clothes? She, knowing what happened, came, fell at his feet, trembling with fear, and told him the whole truth. Some translations say she told him her whole story. You see, Jesus had urgent things to do. He was on his way to take care of something that actually had life or death consequences. He was moving and grooving to get there. And to stop and listen meant slowing down, meant putting those urgent things on pause. Meant saying, oh, okay, I'm going this way, I gotta stop though, and I need to pay attention to you and listen to your whole story. So I have to first off say thank you. This is our pause. You have busy things, you got things to do, there's things waiting for you back home and in your computer and waiting for you tomorrow and on Monday and all these things. And we can run towards those things, whatever needing to stop. And tonight, we're getting to stop. And we're gonna sit and talk about Generation Z and kids and listen to their story. So when we listen to the story of kids, what we'll realize is that there are mountains between them and the gospel, and we can recognize what those mountains are and what the gospel means to those kids. One thing we have is we have a mountain of mental health issues. So this generation, right, has been identified as being highly anxious, highly depressed, very, very high rates of suicide. And so this little chart here, if you see that stark incline that goes up, that incline follows the trend of when this generation had access to smartphones and social media access. And you can see, boom, it shoots off the charts. Suicide, self-poisoning, depressive episodes, and depressive symptoms. We're gonna throw anxiety in here, we throw a lot of things, but we know that this generation struggles with more mental health issues than any previous generation that has existed. We have a mountain of mental health issues. We have a mountain of noise that our kids are facing this day. This is a little funny kind of comparison I put as like, I was a teenager in the 90s, woo, to compare to a teenager today and the noise that they have in their life. We grew up with one landline in our house. There was a certain time of day no one called because their mom and dad was gonna yell at them. You know that, like, why are you calling so late? So it was quiet at night. It was quiet in the morning because you didn't call before school and wake up people. There was built-in quiet. You were only reachable a certain time of the day if they got you on the phone. These kids are reachable 24 hours a day by all people at all times. There is never a time that they're expected to be unavailable. They have noise in their head. They wake up with noise. What's the first thing you think that kids today do when they wake up in the morning? But reach for their phone, right? What do you think the last thing is most kids see before they go to bed is their phone? In fact, you can talk to a number of high school students who sleep with their phone underneath their pillow. They wake up to alerts, they see noise, they hear noise. They can stream, watch, listen to whatever they want to, whenever they want to. This is long from the days where I had a Discman, you know? You held like this because it would skip, and you were limited to the discs that you owned, which was like 5 in my little sleeve that went above my steering wheel. That was it, right? You got bored of it, you were done. They can listen to something all the time, everywhere, whenever they want to. They can actually watch their friends hang out without them in real time. They can be in their room, they can see ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, best friends, doing things, being places without them, versus just coming to school on Monday and finding out what happened over the weekend. My embarrassing moments, they're just stories that people maybe tell sometimes, and they probably have been now washed away with age, but their embarrassing moments, they live in a world where there's always a camera on them, recording them, posting them, shared. So your embarrassing moment can be instantly shared with hundreds of people before you even sit down in your chair from that moment that you've had. They live in a place where they're always watched. The noise never stops. And I talked to a counselor that said, think about it like this. Think about always opening tabs, like your computer tabs. They're always opening tabs in their brain, but because there's no silence and there's no space, they never close them. She goes, that's where anxiety comes from. Open, 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 distract, 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 and never having time to quiet yourself. But this is the one that gets me too. I grew up with fire drills. My kindergartner just came home a couple weeks ago because they had their first active shooter drill. That's the world our kids are growing up with, under a mountain of noise. They also have a mountain of destructive messages coming their way. So technology, I think we know now, technology is designed to make us addicted to it and create this fear of missing out all the times. So our adolescents are growing up with a constant message all the time that says, you are always doing the wrong thing with your time. Wherever you are right now, there's always something better you could be doing. There's something better you should be paying attention to. So you probably should have your phone faced up wherever you are because something better might happen in that moment. They hear contradictory messages of like, you are beautiful the way you are, but here's this face filter you can put on for your camera so you look like how you're supposed to. Your body, you should be proud of where it is, but here's a bunch of images of actually how we want you to look. So they're walking with those two images all the time, these counter messages going on, and in the middle of that, they're growing up in an environment of cancel culture that says if you say the wrong thing, or even if you ask the wrong question, we will yell at you, we will publicly shame you, and we will embarrass you. Imagine that task of an adolescent trying to figure out who you are, and any wrong move means you will be publicly shamed. And in their social media and media, they're constantly getting the message, you are not enough to be loved or to be valuable. This is the business of social media. This is the business of media that is targeted to adolescents to constantly say, you are not enough, nor will you ever be enough to be loved or to be valuable. This is the mountain of things that are existing between kids and adults, between kids and hearing the gospel. And so when we stop and we listen to their whole story, we say, tell me what it's like to be you, and don't let me assume that because I was 16 once, I know what it means to be 16 today. I get to share with you on behalf of my Gen Z friends, but also something in their own words. One of our Young Life leaders is a teacher and just put this prompt on her classroom wall that said, dear adults, I wish you knew / cared about ... and let her students write. And she shared with some of the letters, and they're so beautiful, but I want to share one with you up here on the screen. Dear adults, I really just wish you were more careful about how you treat us. Yes, I'm young and dumb, but that doesn't make me any less capable. In fact, know that I'm stressed out too. I'm working 24/7 as well as personal relationships slowly falling apart. As I try more and more to cope with what's going on, I'm sleep deprived and my only happiness comes from temporary fixes only for it to bite me later on. Stop writing us off as lazy. Freaking help us. Children right now are going through hell. Right now, and some adults refuse to listen. I think there's a lot of things in that letter. I think we see self-awareness of, man, I'm looking for life, and everything I try is failing. In fact, everything I try is even leaving me in a worse place. But one of the things I love is that letter is an invitation. It's an invitation to us, saying, please don't leave me alone. Please come for me. Please fight for me. Please help me. Because on my own, I'm not making it. And so when I get a chance to sit in front of adults like this, who care about our middle school and high school students, and our college students, and our young professionals, and go, yes, but what do I do? What can I do? And I want to say, hey, here's 3 things that you can do. 1 If you know anyone between the ages of 11 and 24, ask them these two questions. What are you hearing about yourself? That same question I ask, what are you hearing about yourself? Because we get the chance to actually correct that. You know what? You're more than that. I mean, if we're young life leaders, if we're the ones that are going to change the next generation with the message of the gospel, if we're going to ones that walk into kids' lives and tell them who they are in Christ, we got to do better than telling kids that they're lazy and fragile and weak and that they're not going to make it. We get to go in and tell them who God designed them to be. And the second question I'd say is ask this, going, what do you wish adults understood about what it's like to be you? What do you want us to know about what it's like to be you? You would be unbelievably surprised that this generation is dying for people to ask and will share with anybody who will listen. I was simply just working in Chick-fil-A, studying and writing, and the Chick-fil-A person that delivered my food said, what are you working on? And I said, I study Gen Z. And he said, really? And he sat and talked with me for 10 minutes because he just wanted to talk to someone who understood. He's like, what do you know about me? Tell me what you know. And we talked, and he just loved this idea that anyone would want to hear about what's it like to be an adolescent. And more than that, cared and was a cheerleader in that moment. So ask questions and listen, and we can start to move away that mountain of noise. The second thing, as I said, bless and encourage. After Jesus heard this woman's whole story, after he heard the whole story, the next word he said might be the most important word in this passage, which he said to her, daughter. We have a group of kids, again, living in this cancel culture that says you're never going to be enough, you're not enough to be loved, you're not enough to be valuable. And they'll walk around going, but will you accept me for who I am? Will you accept me? Do I have to pretend I'm someone else? Do I have to be someone else? Do I have to look different? Or will you accept me for who I am? And when Jesus uses that word daughter, he says, I've heard your whole story. And I'm going to use a word that says, you are valuable. You are dear to me. I want to love you and keep you and protect you and hold you. It's not just ma'am. It's not just nice lady. He uses a word that says, you belong with me. And when we get to bless our folks, we can walk around and I promise, you can do this to the bagger at the grocery store, you can do it to a child, a grandkid, a student, do a stranger or not. Just walk up and go, man, you know what? I was at a place where they talked about Gen Z. Can I just tell you something? I think you're amazing that you're standing here today. I could never do what you do. It takes more strength for you to walk out the door and be a high school student than I've ever had to understand. We say that and you'll see like, oh my goodness, someone sees me. I do sometimes. Sometimes I do because I'm weird and I'm a young life leader. I do that sometimes. And I'll just like, man, you know what? I'm so proud to know high school students. I think you're amazing. And they may look like I'm weird, but they need to hear from more adults that say, I think you're amazing. I think you're incredible. I could never do what you do. So we bless them. You can even send a text message now. My feelings won't be hurt. If you send a text message to someone right now and just said, man, I had no idea. You are stronger and more courageous than I ever have said you are. And the third thing I say is go into that field of young adults or send someone. This is the more isolated group of young adults we've ever seen in our life, right? We've seen at our own school where I do Young Life, in-person enrollment has dropped, sports enrollment has dropped, clubs enrollment has dropped. This was already a trend going on where kids don't have to leave their bedroom to be entertained, to talk to their friends. They don't have to go anywhere, and so we have more and more isolated kids. And the crazy thing is that data says the more time they spend on their social media and on screens, the less happy that they are, and yet they still go back to that place again. And so we need more people who are willing to say, I'm going to fight through the noise, and I'm going to fight through the mental health issues, and I'm going to fight through all the destructive messages that are coming your way because you're worth sending someone to. You're worth it for me to go or to send someone who's going to figure out how to speak your language, how to listen to you, and how to share Christ with you, because leaving you as you are is not an option. It's not an option. It's how we lose a whole generation. How do we help? You ask and you listen, you bless and you encourage, and you go there or you send someone who will. Because if and when Jesus gets a hold of this generation, They will reflect the image of God in ways that we will never have done before. They are truth seekers. They will fight for truth and they will stand for truth. And if we give them truth, they will hold on to it and they will share it. They are positioned to change the world in a different way than any previous generation has. And they know it. They are globally connected. They can make things happen like this through the internet, through social media, through their relationships. They know they have a voice. They know they can change the world. And if we equip them with Christ, they will be unstoppable, not just in our neighborhood, but globally. They can impact the next set of generation. They have a deep care for creation. Let's not forget that that's the first job that was given to Adam, was take care of my creation, and they are bringing that back with them. They will reflect their care for the Lord's creation in them, and of course, they care about justice, and they believe that all people deserve dignity. And that's the same God we serve, who says every single person bears the image of God, and a God who does not stand for injustice. With Jesus in their hands, they will be an unstoppable force. But we gotta go in after them, because left to their own, they will be crushed by the mountain that's on top of them. When we give them Jesus, it is their faith that we will get to watch move mountains in ways that we will never have imagined could be moved before. Please, my friends, love this next generation the way that we will go in and we will fight for them like we've never had to fight before. I just want to say thank you for letting me get to be a representation on behalf of our 12 and 13 and 15 and 20 and 22-year-olds. It's an honor to get to stand with you and to talk to you about them and for them and with them. So before I bring up Jeff, our regional director, who's going to share for a second, I just have to stop and pray, because, I mean, how do you not after this, right? I'm just going to pray. Lord, we pray for the next generation. Would you equip us to reach them? Would you make a way for that, Lord? And would you move mountains so that you would get a hold of this next generation of kids, this next generation of young adults, and change the world for your kingdom? Amen.
So what we're doing, the theme of tonight is Move the Mountains, and it's the theme of our 5-year vision that God gave our team when we prayed on March 9th in Tri-Cities in a living room at about 10 o'clock at night. We said, Lord, what would you have for us for the next 5 years? And we extended it to 6 years. We got a medical redshirt year for 2020, so it starts this year. But it's exactly what Tanita talked about. We are praying that God would move the mountains. I don't know about you, as I see those statistics, I hear the stories, and as I've looked, I have 2 Generation Z kids in my house, a senior and a freshman, and I look at their friends, and I look at their stories and think, man, this is what Jesus was talking about. If you pray with faith, it can move mountains. Just say it, and I will make it be. It's Jesus who's able to do immeasurably more we can ask or imagine. So why not be daring and say, Lord, I'm in. I want to pray that you would move mountains, that you would move this generation, that you would change the hearts of these kids, and that we would be a part of that. This last year, we've been tired. Young Life staff, we've lost a lot of leaders. And those that are faithful, endured, stuck around, that are still here, Lord is raising up. But there's been a lot of loss. I don't want to deny that at all. But I'd say as we've been faithful and enduring, you who are in this room are the ones who've encouraged us and sent us back in the ring. You are the ones, and I just look around the room and I think of Dr. Mike when I go in to get my back adjusted. He's like, go get him. And Kim, and Uncle Gary, John. I look out in the room, Jeff, when I see Jeff, and I see so many faces, the Smiths, that just, you are the ones who encourage us and keep sending us back out there and believing again. Keep going after it. We're going to get through this, and we're going to reach these kids. And what we want to talk about tonight, invite you to be a part of with us, is Tanita just says, go or send. Well, first of all, if you all want to just go, be leaders. I'd love for you to be leaders. Adults can be leaders too. We need adult leaders. You heard that. 75% of kids want adults. But also send. One thing that we're doing that's part of this Move the Mountains next 5 years that we prayed about, the Lord gave us the night before the pandemic started shutting things down, and that we've held on to. That was not something that we scrapped just because the world changed for the season. Was something called Developing Future Leaders, DFLs. The Lord laid on our heart for the next 5 years to raise up 50 DFLs. These are the world-changing next leaders of our generation. In your bidding packet, if you notice, there's a sheet that has 18 people. If you saw the video at the very beginning, we showed a little video of all 18 of those developing future leaders. We're going to send that to you as a follow-up tonight so you can watch that video again if you didn't really digest or know what it was. But we're already at 22 DFLs that we have invested in. And here's what I mean by investing in a DFL, is that these are people who are young people, these are some adult leaders as well, who are called by God, they're gifted, but they don't believe, they didn't think that there's a fit for them to be on Young Life staff and to have a higher level of leadership. And so what this DFL, and finding 50 DFLs in the next 5 years, was us saying, we want to find those who are called and gifted and get them in leadership, get them on staff. And so we're raising $500 per month for 2 years for these leaders, and it matches what the area can come up with. So there's at least $1,000, if not more. And so we have, again, 18 of them right now, and there's 4 of them in year 1 that some moved to be on staff at Young Life Camp or moved to Western Washington to start Young Life College. But 18 currently that other people have said, yes, I want to fund them. 18 of them that are funded. So here's the catch. On year 3, we don't want to just stop and say, hey, good job, 2 years, now come on staff. Because the point of which they were a DFL is because they didn't think, or their area couldn't afford to take them on staff. And so we're offering funding, and in year 3 to have them move up to full-time staff to start a new area or a new ministry in a new town or a new school. We're offering that area a $25,000 match that the community can match that. For one that we're praying about is Moses Lake in this next year. If we can get a DFL who can then start and come on staff and be the first staff person in Moses Lake, we're going to offer that matching gift, a complete DFL, and they're ready to go. So tonight what we want to do is invite you to help send. Would you help send the very first DFL who's going to move to year 3? We have year 2s and we have a bunch of year 1s, but we want to send the first DFL who's going to meet 72 kids by name. Unless they're Young Lives or Capernaum, then it's a smaller group. But those that lead Young Life or Wildlife, that we're going to send them to start a new ministry and invest in all new leaders and build a new team to reach a new school. So we want to raise $25,000 tonight. And on top of that, for you to fund the first year 3 DFLs, we want 2 more DFLs at $6,000 a year, $500 a month. So our goal, $25,000 plus $6,000 for a DFL, and another DFL, $6,000. So anyone good at math? $37,000. All right? We can round it up to 40. I'll go jump in the pool if we do that with my clothes on. But let's just say 37. That's what we're praying for tonight. So I want to invite Carl back up and take us there. So would you help us get DFLs who are going to move the mountains, reach kids, and more leaders? Thank you.
I don't know if you heard that, but Jeff said if we reach 40,000, there's a pool right behind us, and he's jumping in it. So let's get there.
Billings has been the fortunate recipient of one of these DFLs. You guys, this is an amazing program. It's well thought out, it's well executed, and it really is already making a difference where it stands. I just want to echo Jeff's sincere side of what he's trying to accomplish here to say this is an incredibly meaningful task. And then what Keith said, let's toss him in the pool.
Yes.
So we're going to raise the paddle at increments. I will ask for increments of contribution. If you want to give at that level, let me know. I will write your number down privately, and then I'll bring those numbers to the back. So the first increment we're going to ask for, does anybody want to give $10,000 tonight? Is there any donors that would give $10,000? I'm looking for a donor at 10. Thank you.
301, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Only 30,000 more to go to get Jeff in that pool.
Is anybody else willing to give $10,000 to the DFL program of the region? Any other bidders that would like to contribute to $10,000? How about at $5,000? Was anybody willing to give $5,000 to help support the region? Thank you very much. Anybody else for $5,000? $5,000? All right. How about $2,500? $2,500 for our DFL program?
Right up front, 319.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, 330. Thank you.
Thank you. $2,500 last ask on 2,500.
Oh, right there.
There we go.
344.
Thank you very much. 344.
Thank you, Maters.
Okay.
Oh, one more.
There we go.
306.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judy.
Okay. How about $1,500? $1,500. Bidders to 15. Anybody want to raise the paddle and contribute $1,500?
Oh, 318.
318. Thank you.
Oh, 305.
305.
Thank you, prices.
386. Thank you, sir. Anybody else for 15?
325.
325. $1,500. Anybody else? Okay.
Oh, right there.
307.
307. Thank you.
All right. Last call on 1,500.
Oh, 308.
308.
Is that it? Anyone else?
1,000. At $1,000.
All right, we got
Thank you very much.
331,
331.
376,
376.
387,
387.
303,
303.
375,
375.
342.
342.
For some reason that was hard to read. And 349.
349.
Thanks, Don. Hey, thank you guys for that. Can you do some quick math there?
Okay. Last ask at 1,000. Anybody else want it in? And at $500, bidders to 500. 340. 359. 395.
And we have two online bidders that gave
384.
$500, which is awesome. What are we at, numbers-wise?
I don't know. I can't do math.
Just do some quick math.
Yeah, give me quick.
I mean, you run hospitals. You should know this. Oh,
Would
wait,
think so.
wait. 369.
369.
Anyone else keeping track? I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see Jeff jump in that pool. We're 45,000? Are we really? Yes? Jeff?
I want to see the math.
Yeah, I think Jeff wants a recount.
He's calling for a recount. How 2020. All right, here.
Well, awesome. Hey, thank you guys so much. We're going to add this up really quick here. We'll figure that out. But hey, just one thing about the DFL program and also just the work we've been doing in the region is every month we kind of look at kind of numbers. And we look at kind of the growth we're seeing, and it's kind of a scary thing to look at, or at least it was in 2020. We just kind of asked if they reported and kind of just hoped and prayed there wasn't any big dips. But we looked at those numbers again just at the end of November. And between September and November, we, as a region, grew by 4,000 kids known by name in a 3-month period. For us, that's a 42% growth in 3 months, which means that every day of that 90 days, 44 more kids were known by name every day from leaders across our region, which is incredible to think. And like, that's just the beginning with these DFLs that are now working in schools and the work that's being done. This program is doing some amazing stuff across the board. So thank you for investing in that. Thank you for investing in kids' lives and letting an adult walk into them, build a relationship so they can share Christ with them. And that's what you're doing by helping fund this program. So thank you for that. Do we have a total?
Well, here's the deal. Somebody said 45,000, and that is not true. It's 44,500, which is good enough for me.
Woo! Jeff's going swimming.
Jeff's going swimming.
So-
Jeff, are you reserving that for after the party, or should we all march down poolside right now and watch this thing happen?
We
pray for Hopkins.
I like this. Yeah. We
think
don't
it's-
want you to freeze
we
to
think
death
it's
afterwards.
possibly heated. It's questionable, though.
Questionably heated.
Well, hey, should we get?
I have one housekeeping
Oh.
item. Hold on. I may have recorded a wrong number, or maybe we have somebody that's not checked in. The purchasers of the Nez Perce Snake River jet boat tour, what was your number? Yeah.
It was 376.
Okay. Yep. We'll confirm that on the way out. I have your number. Thank you very much. 376. So thank you. Okay. So the next items up, and I say items plural. This is a little bit different than any auction game I guarantee you've ever played, because Keith and I have kind of invented this of our own right over the last couple of years. This is called Ante Up. Okay? Not unlike our Raise the Paddle, you'll be paying every time you raise your number. You'll be bidding on the opportunity to choose between any of the next 3 items. So item number 11, steak dinner with Keith. Item number 12, the Seahawks package. Or item number 13, Mackinaw Island bed and breakfast, would be your choice if you win. As we raise the paddle, every time somebody raises their paddle, the increment will go up by $1. But you will pay for what you raised. So the first person to raise their number that I will read off will contribute $1. The next person will contribute $2, and so on and so forth until we sell the final item. The final price might only be $56 if you're fortunate enough to raise your paddle one time at $56 and nobody else raises it at $57. But I need everyone in the room to agree and nod along that they know that they're paying every time that they raise their paddle. So, does everybody understand the game Ante Up? Okay, no, I'm good. Thank you very much. Appreciate the honesty. So, there are 3 packages. You get to choose any one of the packages if you're the winner. Is that clear?
Wait, how are you the winner, though?
If you are the last person to raise your number.
But how is that determined?
I have a clock that I will keep up at the desk, and I will tell you when we have gone long enough between bids that we will stop the auction.
So you're saying that you have a certain number of seconds that you know, but we don't know,
And Keith will keep me honest.
that once you hit that number, that's when it stops.
Correct, sir.
So it's kind of a guessing game.
For you guys, if the pause goes too long, the game stops, and the last person that raised their number wins. So,
Does that make sense? Everyone?
you will pay whatever the increment is we're at. And I will keep you posted from time to time. If there's a rush of numbers, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 going up, I'll let you know when we get to the stop of the rush. But every time you raise your number, that contribution amount will be yours at the end of the night. Also, those are written off as donations for those of you who are considerate and tax-minded like myself. So if you do not win, those are donations to the organization that you can take as a write-off.
And those online, if you want to participate, enter your bid number in the chat, because we have that time stamped and can track that. So if you want to, when we get to say it's $10, you want that, enter your number to the chat, and then we'll go from there for our people that are watching this.
Okay? So, you will get to choose. If you are the winner of this game, Ante Up, you will get to choose 4-course steak dinner, served and cooked by Keith, or Seahawks game package. 6 Charter Club seats to the January 2nd Seattle Seahawks game versus the Detroit Lions. Feels like a guaranteed win. Sorry, Lions fans. I'm a Vikings fan. I know where I'm from. All right. Or number 13, a stay at the Mackinaw Island bed and breakfast. All right. So, with the first raise of the paddle, who's going to show me $1? Raise your paddle at $1. I'm in at $1. Who's going to be 2? $3.75. Who's going to be in at $3? I won't read every increment.
Oh, right there.
$3.60 for $3. $3.60. How about $4? $3.01. I won't read every dollar off. Who else is in? I got 3.01's my last bidder, and my timer is running. $3.25. I'm at $6. $6? $3.75. You can raise it as many times as you want.
Yep.
$3.49.
$3.84.
$3.84. $3.75. $3.50. $3.49. $3.69. Now we get it. Now there's going to be problems over here. $3.75. $3.75 is my last bidder.
What's the dollar amount?
$14.
$3.12.
$3.12.
$3.34.
$3.93. $3.75. $3.48.
$3.25.
$3.44.
$3.33.
$3.36. $3.75. $3.50. $22.
$22 is where we're at.
Steak dinner for 8. $3.75. $3.27.
$3.33.
$3.75.
$3.84.
$3.36. $3.75. $3.12.
Anything on this side of the room? Oh, $3.34.
$3.25. $3.36.
$3.84.
$3.84. $3.75.
We have 1,000 bidder number.
I don't think we have a bid
I
number.
don't think that's a bid number, but it's
But
my
they're
mom.
putting it in.
It's Jolene Dow, so whatever her number is. Thanks, Mom.
We're at $33.
$3.50.
$3.50. Okay. $3.75.
Any more?
$3.12.
Who knows what that clock is?
Again, it's your pick of any of the next 3 items. Your pick, any of the next 3 items.
And that clock is counting.
$3.75. And we're at
$3.34.
$38. $38. $38 is the winning
Get you a
bid right
lot.
now. $3.75. $3.12.
I see the clock. It's going down.
$3.42.
$3.75.
$3.75.
Ooh, that was close.
$3.42.
$3.33.
$3.75.
$3.33. This is kind of fun. It's getting there.
What's the dollar amount we're at? $3.75. $47 on the next bid. $47 on the next bid.
$3.28.
$3.08. $3.75. There it is, closed out. Time's expired. Sorry. Quick on the draw or quicker the dead. What was our last bid number?
$3.75.
$3.75. Now here's the real question. Steak dinner, Seahawks tickets, or Mackinaw Island bed and breakfast? Seahawks
tickets.
Seahawks for the lock.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's a fun little game that we like to play. Glad everybody participated. Thank you, everybody online.
All right, so the next item is a fun one for us. Is that, yes, we're on my Young Life staff, but one of my favorite hobbies is cooking. And you can see we've eaten well. Both Carl and I have. We've done this meal for years. Well, we will come to your house we will make a 4-course steak dinner for you and 10 or 8 of your friends. So it's a 10 people. And all you got to do is just let us know the dates, and we will come to you. And we'll set it up. We do ribeyes with a coffee rub and a chimichurri sauce, and a gorgonzola cream sauce, and then whatever side entrees or appetizers you'd like. That's kind of our specialty. And it's a great night. We severe the steaks and sear them off. So it's an amazing dinner. If you know any of my staff, they've asked me, hey, don't take us out to dinner when we gather. We just cook for us. So I feel that's a pretty good compliment. So here is that steak dinner. So it costs about $1,000. So Carl, start us off.
Who's going to show me $1,000? Can I get $1,000? Anybody into $1,000? $1,000 for steak dinner for 10, yourself included in that. Who's going to go $800? $800. Any bidders to $800? $800. Cooked in your home or the location of your choice for 10 people. Also, Keith and I used to be much heavier. You can trust a heavy cook. We got skinny, but it's not because we were eating this stuff.
Right.
Who's going to show me $800? 800? $800? Anybody into 800? How about $500? Can I get 500? $500? I got 500. I'm looking for 6. 600? Can I get 6? I got $500 and I'm looking for 6. 600? $600. Any bidders?
There you go.
600. Can I get
331.
7? Looking for 700. I get 600. I'm looking for 7. $700. Looking for new bidders at 700 or online bidders at 700. $700. Anybody going to get 700? 600. Looking for 7. Once. Twice. Oop, 700.
What was the bidder number?
310. Looking for 800. I got 700 and I'm looking for 8. $800. Any new bidders to 800? Old bidders to 800. I got 7 and I'm looking for 8. $800. Once.
Oh,
Twice.
331.
331. 800. 9. $900. Can I get 9? I got 800. I'm looking for 9. $900. 900. Can I get 1,000? Looking for 1,000. I got 900. I'm looking for 1,000. $1,000. 1,000. 1,000.
Oh, we're at 800 actually.
Nope.
Who was the 900?
900 over here. No, 900 over here.
900.
Looking for
310?
1,000. Once. Twice. Sold out. $900.
All right, Roger, we'll have a good time.
No Seahawks. That is gone. Now we're looking at Mackinaw Island. So this is Mackinaw.
Really quick, do you have the card of the? Hey, if Amber or Emma could run up here, we have a piece of paper for you. Or we'll get it to him. Amber Benetti. We have that sheet of paper for you.
For raise a paddle.
All right. Who wants to go to the Midwest to a beautiful island? That's a bed and breakfast. There are no cars allowed on this island. It is an awesome spot to go. And Carl's better than this than me, so I'm just kind of right now.
Okay. So the Mackinaw Island Bed and Breakfast. Lucas Westblade, who was a Young Life leader in Big Sky when he was in Montana before he had moved back to Mackinaw Island, is a host here. This is his bed and breakfast, his family bed and breakfast. He and his wife will be hosting you guys here for 3 nights for 2 people at the Hans 1830 Bed and Breakfast on Mackinaw Island. So who's going to start me off at value $750? Can I get 750? 7.5? Can I get 750? 750? How about $500 to stay at Mackinaw Island with Lucas Westblade and his wife? It's a beautiful bed and breakfast. $500? Bidders to 500? Looking for 500. 350? 350 to start me off on the Mackinaw Bed and Breakfast. 350? 350. 250. Bed and breakfast in Mackinac Island.
Oh, 376.
250. I'm looking for 3.5. Can I get 350? 350. There we go. 315.
What was that bid?
315 at 350. Looking for 450. Gonna get 4.5. 450. 450. Anybody online?
Nope.
Once? Twice? Sold out. Bid number 315, correct? Thank you very much. That'll be a lovely time. Sapphire and Fossil Prospecting in central Montana is number 14. This is just outside of Lewistown, Montana. Sapphire and Fossil Prospecting trip having iridescent nautilus shells that are also found as well. The prospecting trip is a trip for 4. This includes 2 nights at Lewistown's Calvert Hotel, where you'll be guided by the legendary local expert prospector, Cliff Nielsen, and accompanied by Young Life's renowned artist, John Clement. You saw his photographs featured earlier tonight.
Great stuff.
So fossil hunting in central Montana. Who's going to start me off here? $3,000. $3,000?
And you will find the items, like you'll find good stuff.
This
worth money.
that you will take home
could
with
pay
you.
for the trip again.
So $3,000 for prospecting in central Montana. $3,000? Any bettors into a central Montana Lewistown trip for $3,000? $3,000? $3,000? $2,500. Can I get $2,500? $2,500? Central Montana? 25? I've got $2,500. Looking for 3,000. Anybody into 3,000? How about 2,750? 2,750? $2,750. I've got 2,500. Looking for 2,750. Any bidders to 2,750? 2,750. Once? Twice? Sold. $2,500. Bid number 331. Thank you.
Yeah, we should be fine to take it down.
Surprise item. Next up, we have a surprise item. It has music to it.
I don't have anything on this, Keith.
There's nothing written down.
I'm flying.
Is there security?
Oh.
Hey, how's it going?
We are the fur traders!
And that's fur with an E. Because E is for everyone. We're for everyone.
For sure.
My name's Smokey. This is where there's smoke, there's me.
Hey, when you find magic, you'll find me. That's magic. Me.
And I do hypnotize. Hypnotize. Eyes.
Hands. These guys.
We need a volunteer up here.
Need a volunteer, need a volunteer,
Quick.
need a volunteer, need a
Quick.
volunteer. Excuse
Yes.
me, ma'am. Yep, you come up here, please.
Wow. Wow, what are the odds that someone volunteered?
Need a volunteer.
Yes,
Excuse
get up
me,
here,
ma'am.
come on.
I need you to pick a card, any card, any card, any card.
Card.
All right, now tell the crowd what the card is. Now rip it in half. This is where the magic starts. Rip it in half again. That's not half. That was like a quarter. Yep. All right, now put it back in the deck. Your ripped card is the card, all right? Here's the Queen of hearts. Magic.
Give
magic,
it up.
Magic,
Wow.
Magic.
Nice.
I need another participant. I need somebody else. Sir, did you just raise your hand right there? No? Okay. Was that
Yeah,
you? Did
the
you
beard.
raise your hand?
The beard.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, thank you. You, sir. You, sir.
There he is.
You-
yeah,
yes,
you and the
come here.
picnic blanket. Come on.
Yes.
I know where you get your stuff.
I'm going to pick what card it is based on this. Here, roll the dice. Roll the dice. He has 10. Okay.
Oh, damn.
Now, I want you to pick a card. And that is a 10, which matches the dice. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
You can sit down. You can sit down. You can
You
sit
guys just
down.
saw magic.
Magic.
I need
Magic.
someone who would like to be hypnotized. Who would like to be hypnotized?
He does this professionally on Thursdays.
Hey, picnic blanket? There it is. Yeah, why don't you come up here? First time? Come on.
No, so what we need to do
This is great.
is ask everybody who checks out, did you make any contributions? These
I'm gonna have to jump off here.
Okay, this chair is not for you.
They got
Whoa,
Magic.
skate. Okay, go ahead and turn around.
We just need to
Okay.
ask everybody who's checking out. So we can have a
Okay.
computer system. Did you make any raises?
You're barely awake. You're getting your bearings. You're getting your bearings. You're going into hibernation. You're gonna be a real roar. You're slowly sleeping.
Why the big pause?
I'm a bear.
And when we all clap on 3 together, she will be hypnotized.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
She's not. Go sit down.
Yes.
You know, that, my friend, was about as dumb as catching a polar bear. That's what, guys, funny story. Caught a polar bear one time. I went up, cut a big hole in the ice. Came up, threw a can of peas in it. When it came up to take a pee, I kicked it right in the ice hole. It was awesome.
Those polar bears are so
They're
dumb.
so stupid.
Dumb polar bears.
Hey,
Hey, we have an auction item up for bid. It's a surprise, so we're going to start that off at $10. Can I see $10? Somebody
Nope.
for $10 for a surprise auction item.
I don't know where you
surprise
put it.
auction item for $10. Yes, we got $10. Can we have $15? $15, thank you. $37, $37, $37 right there. Can we have
Yep, there it is.
$41? $41? Anybody for $41?
$41.
$41? $41?
Yeah.
$37 going once.
$37.25. I know there's at least 25 cents over there somewhere.
$37.25.
Someone lost a yacht trip, but at least got a quarter.
Too soon. $37 we're at.
Ooh,
We can
too
go to
soon.
39. 37 going once. Oh.
Wait, 384. Lots
Oh.
of surprises.
Oh. What?
Wow, 38.25.
Do you want to go to 34? Do you want to go to 38.27? 38.27 going once, going twice. Sold to
I hypnotized her.
315.
Where's it at?
38.27.
Here it is. Found it back here.
You have it's a picture of Kim McDonald 10 years ago at Washington Family Ranch with a crying kid on a bench.
Look at that.
It's already framed. Oh, they're going to put it in their bedroom.
And I just want to go ahead and point out that I did hypnotize her. You're welcome, kids.
Professionals. See ya.
Hey, fur traders.
We need the mic. Oh, jeez. Our sound guy may have had a slight heart attack there for a second, but we're good.
You only mic drop once, and then you get the bill, and you find out why nobody mic drops.
Very true. All right, now moving on to our next item, Hawaii. Who wants to go to Hawaii? It's
Condo
kinda
in
cold
Hawaii.
right now.
The Whalers Cove in Kauai. Whalers Cove is a small private resort comprised of spacious units on Kauai, possibly the most beautiful tropical island in the world. Two-bedroom oceanfront condo is available for up to 4 guests. Whalers Cove has an oceanfront pool, hot tub, and sea turtle viewing in the adjacent cove. Condo's just a few blocks from the shops at Kauai. Yeah, where you'll find fun shopping with great restaurants. Sandy beaches are within walking distance, and the winning bidder can choose for any week between April 17th and December 16th of 2022, subject to availability. All right, $4,500 trip. Start me off at $2,000. $2,000? Can I get two? $2,000. Anybody to $2,000?
For Hawaii, $2,000 for a week.
Week-long stay at Kauai on Whalers Cove. $2,000. $2,000. $1,500. There we got $2,000 to $318. $2,000. Looking for $2,500. $25. $2,500. $2,500.
Oh, 346.
$2,500. Can I get $3,000? $3,000. $3,000. Looking for $3,000. I got three. Can I get $3,500? $35. Can I get $4,000? $4. Can I get $45? You might need to sit between them. Just, catch the pieces. I got $4,000. I am looking for $4,500. $4,500. Anybody online at $4,500?
Nope.
$4,500. $45. Can I get $5,000? I got $4,500. I'm looking for $5,000. Any new bidders to $5,000?
Anyone over here?
$5,000.
East side of the room. It's
Once.
Hawaii.
Twice. Sold out. $4,500. Bid number 346. All right, here's our feature photograph up here, up front, from John Clement, plus 3 bottles of wine, of Cayuse wine. Lightning over the Bridger Mountains with Cayuse wine. Start me off here, $850. The wine alone's worth $900. $850? $850? The photograph is spectacular. The Bridger Mountains of Montana, $850. $850? $850? $700? It's a John Clement original signed photograph. This thing is spectacular. $500. Got $500. I'm looking for $750.
Who was over? Who's
$331.
over 500? 331.
How about $600? Who'll show me 6? 600? 600? I got 500 and I'm looking for 6. 600?
We got it online for 600.
Online for 600? 7? $700?
The wine itself is 900.
And the photograph is spectacular. I got caught in that storm elk hunting a couple of weeks ago. It was not a pleasant experience. 600 looking for 7. 700? 700, can I get 8?
John,
Got
what's your
700,
bid
I'm
number?
looking for 8. 700 looking for 8.
Oh, there it goes.
800 looking for 9. I got 800, looking for $900. 900. 900. Once. Twice. Sold out. $800 up here in the front. Your bid number? 303. Thank you so much. That is a spectacular shot. You will love that. This is another one of our ministry trips for your groups here. This is a trip into Schaefer's Meadow. 3 days and 2 nights in the backcountries of Montana.
Sir, would you like to bid?
Vote for Pedro. 3 days, 2 nights in the backcountries of Montana in the Bob Marshall Wilderness area. We will fly into the Bob Marshall Wilderness area into Schaefer's Meadows. It's one of the only, it is the only wilderness airstrip in Montana. I know there's several of them here in Idaho. So you'll fly into the Bob Marshall Wilderness area. You're going to spend 3 days and 2 nights fly fishing out of Schaefer's Meadows. And on the last day, you will float out on the Middle Fork of the Flathead to lovely Essex, Montana. Anybody here ever been to Essex, Montana? Absolutely love Essex, Montana. My wife and I spent a couple of days there, and I have been on this trip myself. This is a beautiful trip. It is a once in a lifetime. You will be absolutely off grid. Guided trip, meals included. All you got to do is get to Kalispell to the airport. We're going to fly in 3 days, 2 nights in the Bob Marshall Wilderness area. Fly in, float out, fly fishing trip. Values, yes. For as many, at the value of purchase, as many people as you want to come with you. Otherwise, after tonight's auction, they'll be sold for $3,000 a seat. This is for one person. And on these trips, we're going, again, this is part of this ministry to our contributors, donors, and supporters. This is going to be something that if you have people that you want to come along after tonight, the trip cost will be $3,000 to get from Kalispell into this trip. So you need to get yourself to Kalispell, Montana on the date of departure. Mm-hmm. Yep. If, after tonight, it would cost you $6,000 for 2 people to go. Yep. And we will do these trips. We'll do multiple trips, but we will do up to 6 people, 6 guests on a trip. Yep. Any other questions about the trip? The experience? All right. Start me off, $1,000 flying into the Bob Marshall Wilderness area. $1,000, gonna get 1,000. 1,000? Get $1,000 to get into the Bob Marshall? Fly in, float out. $750. I am not the pilot. Does that change anything? Should we go back to $3,000? So, $750? $500? Any bidders to $500 for the trip? Online?
We got 1,500 online.
Nice. Okay. $1,500 looking for 16. 1,600. Once. Twice. Sold out. Single bidder online at 1,500. Thank you very much. All right, item number 19 is Mesa, Arizona stay. We've got 2 different groups. One's going down to watch Cubs games, which is right near Mesa, Arizona. And the other's going to watch the Mariners and Padres play, all for spring training. So Ken Miller and the Vaughns, you guys might want to be after each other for this. 5 nights at a Phoenix, located at the Phoenix Golf Course. These Phoenix golf courses are located in the heart of Phoenix Mountain Preserve at the Arizona-Baltimore Golf Club.
Biltmore Golf.
Biltmore. At the Biltmore Golf Club is convenient as it is exclusive. This is adjacent to the legendary Arizona Biltmore Hotel and Resort. These 2-storied golf courses stand as testimony to some of the greatest golf outings in all of Arizona. Who's going to start me off here? $1,000. $1,000 going to get 1,000. $1,000. If we're already going down for spring training, might as well have a place to stay. 1,000. 1,000. 750 at the Biltmore. 750. 600. $600 for 5 nights. $500. 500. Thank you very much. Looking for 6. 600. Can I get $600? Bidders to 600. 600. 600. I got 5 looking for 6. Once. Twice. Oh. 600 looking for 7. 700. Can I get 700? 700. Can I get 8? I got 700. I'm looking for 8. 8. Can I get 9? Can I get 9? $900 to you. I've got 800. I'm looking for 9, ma'am. 900. Once. Twice. 900. 1,000. Got 900. I'm looking for 1,000. Got 1,000 online. Got 900. I'm looking for 1,000. Once. Twice. Sold out. $900. Your bid number? 376. Thank you. Okay, so this is a Pebble Beach golf trip for 2.
Yep, 2 people.
So 3 courses, including Pebble Beach, to be played. 3 days, 2 nights, March 30th through April 2nd of 22.
Lodging is on the 14th hole of Pebble Beach, so right on the course. As for 2 people, there'll be a total of 10 people on the trip. All meals are included. You'll have catered dinner and breakfast and lunch on the course. And we did this last year, had a great time, and so we're looking to do it again. We have a number of people going for this, and so it'll be an exciting time. And we have tee times already lined up. So a lot of times Pebble Beach is hard to get tee times for. We already have those secured and lined up ready to go. And we'll play Pebble Beach, Poppy Hills, and Spanish Bay are the 3 courses we'll be playing down there.
All right. Pebble Beach, $8,000. Anybody in? 8,000. $8,000. 3 courses, 3 days, 2 nights on Pebble Beach. 8,000.
Well, it's 4 nights.
Sorry.
3 days of golf.
3 days of golf, 4 nights.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
4 nights, 3 days.
4 days, 3 nights.
Right.
That's not what this says. Now we're all over the place. It is 4 days and 3 nights of stay. Yes. 4 days, 3 nights at $8,000. $8,000? $8,000 for Pebble Beach? 7. How about 7,000? Can I get 7? 7,000? 7? 6,000. Tee times arranged and included.
We have an online bid for 6,000.
6,000. All right. 6,500. 65. 65. Can I get 6,500? Once. Twice. Sold out. $6,000. Thank you very much. All right, here's a Jackson Hole family photography trip. Item number 21, epic family portraits taken by the Grand Tetons with the background by famed regional photographer and legend John Clement. So John will travel with you. 3 nights stay, for your family nearby and receive a framed family photo from the session. So your family photo in front of the Tetons with John Clement. Spectacular trip. Who's going to start me off here? $2,000. $2,000? 2,000. All of our feature photography here by John tonight, a beautiful sample of what it is that you're going to be seeing. $2,000.
How many people?
How many people? John? How many people on this trip? Accommodations for how many on the family photography trip? You are very welcoming. Okay. So your family, as you define it, your size, John is willing to make the accommodation. Don't make it 7 generations. Be reasonable. Immediate family. All right, there's our definition. Immediate family, $2,000. Trip to Jackson Hole, couple nights stay, and photography by John. 2,000? $24 by 30 framed canvas print of the family photograph. Tetons in the background. I mean, I suppose you could get Black Butte if you wanted to turn the other way, but let's be honest, they all point the camera the same way Ansel Adams did. Tetons in the background, framed canvas print with your family, who's going to do $1,750. $1,750? $1,500? $1,500? Family photograph in the Tetons? $1,250. $1,250. $1,000. $1,000. Any bidders into $1,000? Multi-night stay in the Tetons with your family, photography and portrait included. Okay, we're going to move on to our next item. Item number 22, private dinner and Gen Z coaching with Dr. Maddox herself. If tonight's presentation was too public for you, have we got a deal? So Tanita is going to have a 2 to 3 hour dinner at the restaurant of your choice with adolescent culture Gen Z expert Tanita Maddox. You'll receive time for questions and answers as well as her undivided attention of customizable information and topics for your needs and your group's needs. Example, it could be a group of parents who want to understand their teen kids, a group of business people who want to understand how to reach their employees or their customers, a group of pastors who want to understand how to lead people, young adults. Gen Z is not just kids, it's also young professionals, and the opportunity will help you understand how to work with, reach, and impact the next generation. So dinner with Tanita. Who's going to start me off here? $1,500, dinner with Tanita. How many people, Tanita? Up to you. Dinner with Tanita, $1,500. Business coaching session and how to engage the future workforce. Where will you travel, Tanita? Where will you not travel? Anywhere in the region? Anywhere in the region. Dinner with Tanita, $1,500. $1,500? $1,500. $1,250? $1,250? Bidders in on $1,250? Anybody for $1,250? $1,000? Can I get $1,000? $1,000? $1,000. I'm in on $1,000. $1,100, anybody?
Do you have a number?
$352. 6. 1100. Anybody to 1100? 1100? It's always awkward when the guy just slams the gavel and closes it quick when he's bidding. 1100. Anybody to 1100? Online to 1100? Once? Twice? Sold out. $1,000. Thank you, Tanita.
And that concludes our live auction portion. So thank you all for the work. Now I'd like to invite up Jeff Huber for a special thing.
We wanted to do a special honoring. This year we had a very special, longtime hero of the faith, Gary Hopkins, who served over 30 years on staff with Young Life. And it's really like, you know, some people who have led and been on staff mixed together, it's over 40 years, maybe over 45 years of staff experience, serving as summer staff coordinator, leading multiple areas, San Jose and Tri-Cities and the Palouse and Malawi, Africa, and serving in Spokane, leading, being on staff, most recently at Washington State University. We just want to get a chance to have a couple of people who've also been my heroes of the faith as well, just to come on up. And Gary, if you want to come up as well. Judy, you can come up as well. But Dawn, Judy Klostermeyer, Jeff Vansel, and Stuart Sonneland to come up and each share a word about Gary. And we're going to pray for him and honor him. So come on up. Guess we can just take this off the stand. All right. Judy, come on over here. Yeah, you guys can actually just stand right down here in front. All right, so we've asked each just to say a word about Gary, and then Stuart is going to share and wrap it up and pray for Gary and Judy. Judy Klostermeyer. Judy was regional director before me, and I have big shoes to fill. She has been a huge influence in this region and a mentor to many of us. So why don't you open up with some words?
So I don't have any funny stories to tell, as my husband said. That's not your bag. So, so I'm not telling funny stories, but I'm offering great thanks, because Gary is actually the one who trained me long ago when I was a volunteer and helped me start with a bunch of my friends, helped me start an area, and then the friendship went on and on and on. And just before I left the region, we spent some time together trying to figure out what would be the best possible place for Gary, and we knew it was WSU. Gary and Judy have done such fantastic work there with the college students, and so I am just filled with thanks. There was a lot of space in between those times, so you can imagine how grateful I am. Thank you.
We'll go next with Jeff Vansel, who hired me 23 years ago.
I had the opportunity to see a lot of Young Life and a lot of staff over the years. One of the things that you notice is how does a couple work? You know, how do they do it together? And I would just say about the Hopkins, my experience as the Hopkins, it was always Gary and Judy. I mean, they were the Priscilla and Aquila, and many times it was and Priscilla's the woman, right? It's like there's a sense of you get them both, and the power of that. And I had the opportunity to speak at a number of camps, at the college level especially, and I'll tell you what, they raised some of the greatest disciples I've met in the last several years. Articulate, intelligent, godly, funny, people that you would love, who are so hopeful. You think about the future, and we think about all that's going on right now. When you meet some of these young men and women, I'm thinking of Andrew, I'm thinking of Brad, I'm thinking of Joey, who are now my friends, that you introduced them to me, but you guys have made disciples. And I know that for all the skits you've done, and you've done some of the best, Cinderfella, Flint and Dip or something like that. But Yeah, it fitting it. It fitting it. Cinder fella, but he's done some of the best skits. He's probably led some of the best songs. He's probably given some of the best messages. They've done some of the greatest things, but what they're going to remember and what they're going to treasure are the people and the disciples. And so thank you for your investment.
We'll hear from Don Myers, who I'm always in debt to because he was the area director for my wife Tanya when she was in Wenatchee.
Why do I have to follow Vansel? My thoughts were very much the same with Jeff's. I don't know anybody that is a better disciple maker than Gary, you, and Gary and Judy. It would be impossible to do, but it would be so interesting to form a list of all the people that are in direct ministry of some kind now who came under your tutelage, and that would be it would be a long and storied list. So, but there's one thing that has always really concerned me about Gary, and I'll just be really brief. I don't know if it's a touch of dyslexia or if it's just the product of a WSU education, but Gary, the girl's name is Cinderella. Say it with me, Cinderella. Can you all say that? Help him, Cinderella. Okay? It's just been a problem over all the years because Rendersella just finned it. Okay? And so, I really think that you can overcome this, and so I have a gift for you. I think with months, maybe a year of good, hard study, I know you've got time to do that now, you can overcome this, and I would like to see you do that. So here's my gift to you, Gary.
Well done. And perhaps someone who's known him the longest, at least in this room, Stuart Sonnellan.
Yeah, we go way back. We were leaders together. A long time ago. Love you guys. But seriously, we were at, the story is we were at Malibu, we were on assignment. We were in this, a house that had a bottom and a top floor, and assignments can be tough. It kind of turns the heat up on your relationship, and there'd been some tension between Gary and Judy, but one night, holy mackerel, it was, we're staying upstairs, and they're downstairs, and we hear yelling, pounding, and we're like, oh my gosh, Patty and I are just like huddled in our bed, like praying for them. Lord, please be with Gary and Judy. And then the next morning you walk down and think, oh man, how do you bring that up? And we didn't have to, because we walked down and Judy's like, there was a bat in our room last night. So that's my favorite memory of Gary and Judy, is the night we prayed for them. But no, seriously, over all these years, Spokane and Tri-Cities and the Bay Area, Malawi, Pullman, there's been this amazing consistency, this long obedience in the same direction of seeking and saving the lost and making disciples. And that is where my heart beats as well. So I love you guys for what you've done for so long. Bless you. Hey, we're going to pray for them right now. So, Father, we thank you so much for these two incredibly faithful people, and just the impact that they have had on your kingdom. And that, boy, we're going to be in heaven hundreds of years from now and look back and think, wow, Gary and Judy, well done. So bless them, be with them, put your hand upon them as they go into this next chapter. And we thank you so much for what you've done through them in this mission. We ask this in your name, Jesus. Amen.
All right, we have a special treat for you at the end, but a couple announcements before. So Gary, don't go anywhere. You heard this talk about Cinderella, Rendersella. About 90% of you have no idea what we're talking about, but we're about to show you what we're talking about. It's a treat at the end. But just a couple announcements. One, as we finish up here, on your way out, you'll notice that there's a box with books. We have an author in the house, Kim Chaffin, and she has a devotion book that we would love for you to grab on the way out. And it's Advent, so maybe it's something for you to pick up and read during this time if you don't already have something, but save it for a gift as well. Read it for yourself. Keith?
Yeah, just really quick. If your bidder number is 330-308, 376 or 369, if you can just see Amber really quick and to clarify some stuff, well, that'd be great.
Okay. Some of you were wondering what the heck we were doing with that number, and we're going up by one at a time. We raised like $2,700 for that. So if you weren't sure what was going on, we were. Cha-ching! That was awesome. That was confusing and amazing all at the same time. So congratulations, Sharon, for that one. John, you get a last word here. John Clement, our artist, he is the one actually that started this auction 7 years ago. So if you see a lot of the artwork here, just know that this is the man who's the inspiration behind our annual auction. But he's got one more word for Gary and Judy.
If it wasn't for you two guys, I wouldn't be here. These guys invited me in 1980 to donate a photograph to a Young Life auction. I had no idea what Young Life was. I was in a very ultra-conservative home church, and when I went to a Young Life meeting, I was absolutely blown away and fell in love with the ministry. 2 years later, I was on the committee. And the saga continues, and I want to thank them both for the wonderful ministry they have, the outreach to me. They've changed my life with a whole bunch of nonprofits, especially Young Life, which I love dearly. Thank you.
All right, now for the treat at the end. Who wants to hear Rindersella? All right. Are you going to stay up here with them, Judy?
I don't really know what he's talking about. I just tell stories. But Elcom and Wood Givney, sis is the Tory of Rindersella. Once upon a time in a corn country there lived a Gertiful Burl, whose name was Rindersella. Now in the same corn country there lived a Pransome Hints, whose name was Chinsparmy. Well, one day the Pransome Hints decided to have a very bancy fall. So he invited all the people from Riles Mound, especially the pitch report. Now, Rindersella's mugly other and two sad bisters were out buying dancy fresses for the bancy fall. But alas, poor Rindersella couldn't go to the bancy fall because all she had to wear were some old ruddy dags. This made Rindersella sari bad, brought many ears to her ties. So she cat down and shried. Well, while she was kidding there in shrine, suddenly there appeared in a lash of lightning her Gary Modfather. Rindersella, why are you at the Bancy Fall? Oh, Gary Modfather, you know I can't go to the Bancy Fall because all I have to wear are these old ruddy dags. And with one touch of his wagic mond, she appeared before him as a bavishing Rudy, wearing poobies and rurals and two sass clippers. Oh, yank through, yank through, yank through. She kissed him on the keek. But Gary Modfather, how will I ever get to the Bancy Fall? And with another touch of his wagic mond, there appeared a carriage with sight courses to take Rindersella to the Bancy Fall. As they drove off, Gary Modfather yelled out, "Rindersella, don't forget to be back before midnight or I'll have to turn you into a tumpkin." Well, when she arrived, she didn't have to dock on the Nore because the Pransome Hints was watching from a bedroom window. Well, they danced in lell and fove. Suddenly, the sock clucked midnight. Rindersella saced down the rares, but just before she beached the Rodham, she slopped her dripper. Yes, she slopped her dripper. The whole next day, the Pransome Hints went throughout the corn country looking for the Gertiful Burl who slopped her dripper. Finally, he came to Rindersella's house. He tried it on her mugly other. It fitted it. Then he tried it on her two sad bisters. It fitted it. Then he tried it on Rindersella. It fitted it. It was just the sight rise. So, kiddies, the stroll the more he is. If you ever want to dance, lell and fove, marry a Pransome Hints, don't forget to slop your dripper. Thanks and appreciation to everybody for coming out tonight. I wish everybody a safe drive home. I really appreciate your time, your contributions, your heartfelt applause that you've given. This has been a wonderful evening. This is our first annual. And we'd invite you guys also to take the centerpieces on your way out, which also means it is time to make for that direction. Anybody that wants to hang out and watch Huber hop in a pool, that's the last feature of the evening. Otherwise, safe trip, safe drive home, Uber if you have to. Please be safe and responsible. God bless, and thank you guys so much for your support.